Okay, so if you're a developer who uses an AI coding assistant, you've definitely felt this. One minute, it's like magic, it's writing perfect code. The next minute, it's just making stuff up that looks right but is completely broken. It's a super common struggle, but what if I told you there's a much better way to work? So get this. This is a quote from software engineer Mukesh Murugan. "I don't write code by hand anymore." That sounds wild, right? Especially when most of us are stuck in that loop of write a prompt, get some weird code, tweak the prompt, and just hope for the best. So yeah, how is that even possible? How do you get to a point where the AI is a real partner and not just some kind of superpowered autocomplete? Well, it all starts by breaking one really common and really inefficient habit. We got to talk about something called the vibe coding trap. Honestly, this is probably the single biggest reason why so many developers get stuck in that frustrating cycle with their AI tools. Vibe coding is basically just throwing a vague idea at the AI and hoping it reads your mind. You say something like, make the button look better or fix this bug, and then you spend the next hour just cleaning up the mess it made. It's not just inefficient, it's exhausting. The secret is to give the AI a way to check its own work. So instead of a vague prompt like validate email addresses, look at the after example. You give it actual test cases. You define what success looks like. This tiny change shifts the AI from guessing what you want to executing a clear, verifiable goal. It's a game changer. And this whole idea of giving it verifiable goals, well, that leads to a much bigger concept. To really truly stop vibe coding, you need to change your mindset. You have to stop thinking of your AI as a chatbot and start treating it like an agentic system. So, what's an agentic coder? It's not just suggesting the next line of code. It's a system that can actually understand your entire project, think about the architecture, and then carry out a plan across a bunch of different files. You're not the one doing the typing anymore. You're the one directing the strategy. This really highlights the core difference, right? An autocomplete tool like Copilot is awesome for local stuff, writing boilerplate, finishing a line. But an agentic tool is built for thinking across the entire codebase. It helps you with the architecture, understanding the why behind your code, not just the what. And what really makes this whole thing possible is a massive context window. We're talking 200,000 tokens. To put that in perspective, that's like the AI holding around 150,000 words of your project in its memory all at once. This is what lets it genuinely understand how everything in a big, complex project fits together. So, how do you actually get the AI to use all that brain power effectively? Well, it all kicks off with one surprisingly simple but incredibly powerful file you put in the root of your project, CLAUDE.md. Right, this file. The best way to think about CLAUDE.md isn't as some boring config file. Think of it as the onboarding document for a brand new senior developer who's just joined your team. It's how you give your AI a project brain. I mean, think about that. Every single time you start a new session, the AI reads this file first. It instantly learns your project's rules, your architecture, your preferences. But here's the crazy part. Unlike a human developer, it has perfect memory, and it follows your instructions to the letter every time. So what exactly goes in there? It's pretty simple, actually. Just three things. The what, your tech stack file structure. The why, the reasons behind your big architectural decisions. And this is crucial, the how. Your coding standards, naming conventions, and even patterns you want it to avoid. This is how you stop it from making rookie mistakes. All right, so your AI has its project brain now thanks to that file. But you still need a process to guide its work. This is how you prevent it from just jumping to conclusions or hallucinating a solution. And that's where something called plan mode comes in. Think of this as your strategy session. It's your whiteboarding phase. Before a single line of code gets written, you and the AI get on the same page about the approach. This is your ultimate weapon against doing a bunch of wasted work. Now, the key here is what the AI can't do in plan mode. It's basically sandboxed. It can read your files, search through the code, look up docs, and ask you questions, but it absolutely cannot write or change any files. It is forced to think and plan before it can act. And this creates a really clean 4-step workflow. You start in plan mode to explore the code, and then it creates a detailed plan for you to review. Only once you say, yep, looks good, do you switch over to implement. This structure perfectly separates the research from the execution, which means you never waste time building the wrong thing. So when you put all these pieces together, the verifiable prompts, the Claude.md project brain, and that plan-first workflow, it totally changes your role as a developer. And this is the real payoff. You stop wasting your time fixing silly little mistakes, and instead, you spend your brainpower on architecture, on strategy, and on solving the really hard, high-level problems. You go from just being the coder to being the architect who directs a super capable AI partner. So look, if you take anything away from all this, make it these 3 things. First, stop vibe coding. Give your AI clear, testable goals. Second, onboard it to your project with a CLAUDE.md file. And third, always use plan mode to agree on the strategy before you write any code. Which leaves us with one final, pretty big question. As these tools get more and more powerful and the AI handles more of the raw coding, the job of software development itself is changing. So, if the AI is the coder, what does that make you? That's something we're all going to be figuring out together.